social, social security assistance, social sector pensions. Our government is committed to ensuring a life of grace and dignity to all the poor and vulnerable, particularly the old and infirm. To support the minimum needs of these persons and to bring happiness in their lives, we introduced the NTR Bharosa program by enhancing the social security pension by 5 times. I am providing 2,998 crores for social security pensions to the senior citizens, widows and differently abled persons under NTR Bharosa scheme. Further, we are providing social security assistance under Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana and Abhay Hastam. Differently abled senior citizens and juvenile welfare. For differently abled, we are undertaking measures such as enhanced scholarships, special sports meets, enhanced incentives for marriages between normal and differently abled, supply of assistance aids. I have provided 77.31 crores in 2016-17 budget for the welfare of the persons who are differently abled and senior citizens. I am allocating 23.66 crores for the juvenile welfare, as we would like to see the juvenile being treated humanly for their eventual integration in the mainstream society as productive citizens. Women empowerment. I strongly believe in what the former Secretary General of United Nations Organization UNO said. There is no tool for development more effective than the empowerment of women. The honorable members of this House are aware that nearly 20 years ago, our honorable Chief Minister had given a major impetus to women empowerment through Dwakra groups. Ever since, Andhra Pradesh has earned quite a few laurels by supporting, nurturing and promoting the self-help groups of women in both rural and urban areas. Currently, we have 86 lakh members in 8.7 lakh SHG groups with a total corpus of 5,500 crores. In order to bring synergy in implementation of poverty reduction programs, we have established Andhra Pradesh Mahila Sadhikar Samastha in 2015-16, which is the focal institution for all women empowerment programs in the state. We will strengthen APMSS to be a vibrant institution for women empowerment. To accelerate the economic empowerment of self-help groups, we have decided to infuse a capital of 10,298 crores into the groups and provided 3,760 crores in 2015-16. Taking advantage of the capital infused, the Dwakra groups have leveraged 12,288 crores from the banks for their economic advancement in 2015-16. We propose to double this program in 2016-17, taking the SHG movement to a new high. We will provide the second phase of capital infusion in 2016-17 based on the utilization of the first phase infusion. The SHG groups have taken up several livelihood activities such as generic medical stores under Anna Sanjeevani scheme, food joints, school sanitation enterprises, dairy, small ruminant development, livestock units, paddy procurement, tailoring and sewing training in every constituency, etc. We have also launched a digital literacy mission to educate all SHG members of mobile internet and computer literacy. Besides, we are implementing the World Bank assisted Andhra Pradesh Rural Inclusive Growth Project with a total project cost of 642 crores in 150 backward mandals of the state. This project aims to implement rural value chains and rural retail chains interventions to enhance incomes of 250,000 SHG members, farmers and small retail shop owners. In addition, it aims at improving human development outcomes and improved access to citizens' entitlements through one-stop shops at Gram Panchayat level for 5 lakh members. Beyond the major nutritional programs provided for the food and nutritional security of women and child welfare, we are taking steps to mitigate domestic violence, provide family support, encourage girls, children, etc. Youth empowerment. President Franklin D. Roosevelt had said, "We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future." Our government's resolve is that we will not only build build our youth for the future, but we will ensure that the future is built for our youth. Our state enjoys the best demographic dividend in the country with a working age population of 15 to 59 years of 3.4 crores, which is 67% of the population, and 31% of our state's population is in the age group 18 to 35 years. We will achieve the goals of Vision 2029 only by making the youth of our state the principal stakeholders and by enabling them to advance to their highest potential. This direction, we propose to focus on their mobilization and organization, career counseling, skill development, entrepreneurship, and sports and cultural activities, among other empowerment initiatives. We propose a comprehensive youth empowerment policy and an institutional framework similar to the Mahila and Rait Sadhikara Samstha for translating the policy into reality. We issued orders for filling 12,358 posts in the public services through direct recruitment and propose to notify another 20,000 posts in the near future. Our principal endeavor is to create millions of jobs in the private sector, for which we have created a favorable ecosystem. I am earmarking 252.38 crores in the 2016-17 budget exclusively for the purpose of youth empowerment, which is 20 times the amount allocated to youth in 2015-16. In addition, the budget estimates earmarked for all skill development, entrepreneurship promotion, and sports promotion, which together amounts 888 crores, will be utilized for activities that would directly empower the youth. This is the twice the allocation made in 2015-16. Further, we will earmark 5% of the funds provided for the economic development of SC, ST, BC, minority, Kapu, and Brahmin community groups for the development of their youth in the age group of 18 to 35 years. Skill development. Our government's vision is to establish Andhra Pradesh as the skill capital of India by 2020 and be counted among the top 10 global hubs for the highly skilled manpower by 2029 by creating a future-ready and globally competitive workforce of 2 crore people. We aim to address the skilling and training needs and aspirations of all key learner segments, including the dropouts, ITAs, diploma holders, and degree students and engineering students from all sections of the population with a due attention to SC, ST, BC, minorities, women, disabled, etc. We are perhaps the first state in the country to create a corporation, Andhra Pradesh State Skill Development Corporation, on PPP mode to drive these initiatives. Our strategy is to involve the industry in training our youth so that they gain employable skills, improving their placement rate. We are partnering with the sector skill councils in establishing sectoral advisory committees and promoting centers of excellence in sectors relevant to the state. Further, we are making efforts to link the needs of upcoming industries with the training programs so that the required skill manpower is available to the industry by the time it goes into production. We are upgrading the employment exchanges and industrial training institutes and linking the candidates with the placement agencies. Among our prominent initiatives, the foremost is the agreement with Siemens India for establishment of 6 Siemens Centers of Excellence for training more than 1 lakh technicians and engineers in the state in areas like cyber security, data analytics, etc. We are also training candidates in the electronics and manufacturing areas, high-end areas in IT sector like cyber security and data analytics. In 2016-17, we will establish a model skill development center in each district by leveraging the centrally sponsored schemes to enhance the training infrastructure by an additional 50,000 annually, along with other programs in construction, textiles, etc. In total, we intend to increase the candidates covered under skill development programs from around 20,000 this year to 1 lakh next year. Entrepreneurship. In addition to skill development programs, we are focusing on promoting entrepreneurship so that the job seekers can become job creators. We have signed an agreement with University of Texas at Austin to build a world-class incubator with an investment of 100 crore under PPP mode in Tirupati. We have set up 4 incubation centers in Visakhapatnam, Tirupati, Kakinada and Anantapuram with a combined built-up area of around 1 lakh square feet. These incubation centers are currently promoting 177 startups. We intend to establish an entrepreneurship institute and develop 1,000 entrepreneurs and innovators in 2016-17. I am proposing 376.39 crores for skill development and promoting of entrepreneurship and innovation in 2016-17. Sports. Our government considers sports as events that provide an opportunity to the youth to shape their overall personality. In addition to the obvious benefits of health and recreation, in this spirit, our government bagged the opportunity to host the 37th National Games in 2019 at Amravati. This opportunity gives us an added incentive to boost the capital's development while promoting sports across the state. Therefore, we are earmarking on building world-class sports infrastructure in Amravati and a few sporting centers in the centers to serve this purpose. We are also in the process of formulating a sport policy to motivate spirited participation in competitions and to suitably reward such exceptional performance in an outstanding manner. To deepen the sports culture in the state, we plan to develop a stadia in all assembly constituencies to make sporting facilities available to all youth. We are targeting to construct 127 stadia in 2016-17. In addition, we are also taking up 3 integrated sports complexes at Tirupati, Visakhapatnam and Vijayawada. I have provided 215.38 crores in the 2016-17 budget for the promotion of sports in the state. Middle class empowerment. I call Bharata Ratna Baba Sahib Ambedkar's exhortation. An ideal society should be mobile, should be full of channel for conveying a change taking place in one part to others. Our society is in great transformation with the majority movement to being middle class. Most of us who work for the government belong to this class and intuitively understand and appreciate the concerns, frustrations, hopes and dreams of the middle class. My government would like to assure this group, which really is the future of Andhra Pradesh, that we would do everything to ensure that their and their children's future is protected and promoted by ensuring peace and security, peace, stability, price stability, good public services, safe roads, robust infrastructure, good education and health care and excellent job opportunities, etc. In fact, considering that the budget is not merely a collection of numbers, but it is a strategic pointer to the future, this budget is designed for the middle class prosperity and happiness. Decentralized governance. Our government believes that democracy is at its best when the governance institutions are strong at the grassroots. Accordingly, we are strengthening the Panchayat Raj institutions and urban local bodies with the required human infrastructure and financial resources. Rural empowerment. We have taken up measures for building the capacity of PRA elected representatives along with the administrative staff to equip them with the knowledge and skills essential for effective local governance. We have helped the PRAs prepare Gram Panchayat development plans with an expenditure of 24.59 crores in 2015-16. In 15-16, we have constructed 266 Gram Panchayat buildings, repaired 268 GP buildings and 10 district Panchayat resources centers. In addition, we have taken up construction of 2043 Gram Panchayat buildings and 341 Mandal Parishad buildings under MGNREGS with a budget of 371.65 crore. We will consolidate and expand these efforts in the 2016-17 financial year. For the first time, we instituted rapid assessment of Panchayat resources system for identifying and assessing all assessed resources. We are implementing a digital Panchayati project where 11 citizen services, namely house tax, trade licenses, private water tap, connection, property value certificate, marriage certificate, mutation certificate, no objection certificate for all small and large scale industries, building permissions, layout permissions, job cards are provided online. In 2015-16 election of 11 of our Gram Panchayats secured awards under Panchayat Sashakti Karana Puraskar from Government of India with an award of 1.58 crores. In pursuance of the 14th Finance Commission award, the Government of India has allocated a grant of 8,654.09 crores for the period from 2015-16 to 2019-20 to the Gram Panchayats. Of this, an amount of 928.41 crores was released to Gram Panchayats. In 2015-16, the GPs will receive 1463 crores as 14 finance grants in 2016-17. I am proposing 4,467.65 crores for the Panchayat Raj institutions support in the 2016-17 budget estimates, which represents an increase of 35.6% over the 2015-16 budget estimates. Rural water supply. Our government is committed to providing potable drinking water to all citizens of the state. In this direction, we are implementing various water delivery schemes like bore wells, protected water supply, and comprehensive protected water supply schemes for a cluster of villages. Further, we are providing drinking water at a nominal cost of 2 rupees for 20 liters under NTR Sujala Padakam. In addition, we are executing externally aided projects like Andhra Pradesh Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Project with funding assistance from the World Bank, National Rural Water Supply Project and projects with the assistance of NABARD. Apart from projects financed by the state government, we propose to take up drinking water grid to ensure sustainable delivery of potable water to cluster of villages that are chronically deprived of assured supply of potable drinking water. I have provided 1,195.63 crores for rural water supply in 2016-17 budget. Mahatma Gandhi MGNRES. It is with pride that I inform this August House that Andhra Pradesh received the National Award for Effective Initiatives under MGNRES in 2015-16. We have utilized more than 3,400 crores during 2015-16 to create not only productive employment to those in need, but also to revitalize the rural infrastructure and the consequential public services. This demonstrates not only our commitment to expanding rural employment, but also our ingenuity in ensuring maximum benefit to the local communities. We have reached this by converging MGNREGS with Neeru Chettu for water conservation, Swachh Bharat for construction of individual household latrines, Vadala Chandrana Bata for construction of CC roads, etc. I am also proud to inform that our state is the best performing state in the country in parameters like providing 100 days wage employment, 3.1 lakh households, percentage of wages paid within 15 days, 78%, and in Aadhaar seeding of wage workers, 97%. I am earmarking 4,764.71 crores in the 2016-17 BE, an increase of 75% compared to 2015-16. Urban governance. With a rapidly urbanizing society, strong municipal bodies are imperative for managing the growth and shaping the development trajectory. Accordingly, we have supported the municipalities with the services related to environmental improvement in slum areas, assistance for civic amenities, essential services, parks, playgrounds, and toilets in municipal schools. Our government is determined to prepare our state for the rapid urbanization that accompanies accelerated economic growth. Accordingly, we geared up our administration to the emerging context and resultantly 31 urban local bodies have found place in the Government of India's Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. The prime objective of this scheme is to provide tap connection to each household, developing greenery and promoting public and non-motorized transport during the mission period from 2015-16 to 2019-20. Further, our efforts have resulted in Visakhapatnam and Kakinada being selected for the Smart Cities project, which will ensure that these cities will be provided with 1. Adequate water supply, 2. Assured electricity supply, 3. Sanitation including solid waste management, 4. Efficient urban mobility and public transport, 5. Affordable housing especially for the poor, 6. Robust IT connectivity and digitization, 7. Good governance especially e-governance and citizens participation, 8. Sustainable environment, 9. Safety and security of citizens, particularly women, children and elderly, and 10. Health and education. As greenery in cities is a significant factor in improving the quality of life in cities, our government has created Andhra Pradesh Urban Greening and Beautification Corporation Limited. Kurnool city will be developed as a smart city with state funds. Overall, I have provided 4,728.95 crores in the 2016-17 budget estimates for assistance to the urban local bodies, an increase of 49.1% over the 2015-16 budget estimates. Sanitation and hygiene. Our government has been at the forefront of supporting the Swachh Bharat program and promoting the Swachh Andhra Pradesh program. As part of this commitment, we have constructed, repaired 49,000 school toilets, 46,138 school toilets are being maintained by either SHG groups or through school nursery programs. We have also undertaken 62,425 rural individual household latrines in convergence with the MGNRES in 2015-16 and an additional 9 lakh IHHL with cost sharing between the state government and the central government. In urban areas, we launched a new scheme to take up 4 lakh toilets with a budget of 320 crores and community toilets worth with 100 crores in all Nagar Panchayats, municipalities and corporations. Further, we propose to take up 110 units of recreation sites, duly converting the dumping sites with a budget of 275 crores. With these measures in place, we have created 278 open defecation-free Gram Panchayats in this area. We target to achieve ODF in at least 1,300 Gram Panchayats in 2016-17. In addition, we are undertaking a solid waste management program in Gram Panchayat which entails segregation of waste at household level, collection and transportation by Gram Panchayat to the solid wealth processing center. We are undertaking this project into 660 Gram Panchayats with a project cost of 110 crores and funds pooled from MGNREGS, Swachh Bharat Mission, 14 Finance Commission grants and the finance of Gram Panchayats. Smart village, smart ward. Our government believes that if every village and every ward is equipped with all essential development characteristics, then the entire state will become developed. We believe that the public should be given an opportunity to become stakeholders in the development of their region for sustainable results. With this belief, our government launched the Smart Village, Smart Ward program with 20 non-negotiable developmental parameters. The unique feature of this program is that locally motivated and well-off citizens are partnering with the village and development bodies to develop the villages and wards. This program aims to achieve smart infrastructure and service delivery along with the social mobilization and utilization of available natural resources, leading to faster and inclusive growth. Our government has established an independent Smart Andhra Foundation as a society to serve as a platform for the general and sectoral partners under this program. This foundation will be supported by a group of international organizations, accomplished corporates, civil society organizations, individuals, community-based organizations, and other progressive research and economic institutions. This program has already seen a commitment of 301 crores, with NGOs accounting for 61% of the partners and NRAs constituting 12%, corporates 5%, officers 3.2%, local 3.2%, and others 14%. To support this program, NABARD has come forward to partner in the creation of rural infrastructure and services. We are also converging this program with other activities of Panchayat Raj and Municipal Administration Department. More importantly, this program will result in substantial social capital being generated in the villages wards, which is our government's prime motivator for engaging in this program. Amaravati, world-class capital. I am proud to inform you that Amaravati has become the cynosure of all eyes nationally and internationally, and of investors and other governments alike. This is due to the progress we are making and the confidence they have in our ability to develop our capital to the 21st century global standards. The government of Andhra Pradesh has signed a memorandum of understanding with the government of Singapore in December 2014. Accordingly, Surbana International Consultants and Mr. Jorang International were engaged by the government of Singapore to prepare the master plan for capital region, capital city and seat capital. These were delivered to us on time. The main goals of these plans are to create employment, attract investments, provide good quality housing, nurture nature and environment, flood management, and heritage and culture. The detailed master plan for the capital city has been approved and notified in the District Gazette for Guntur on 23rd February 2016. The construction of an interim government complex has been started. The works on permanent buildings and other infrastructure will commence during 2016-17. Our government would like to use this occasion to formally thank the landowners who voluntarily participated in the land pooling scheme, without whom we could not have made this progress. This scheme has become a successful case study, which other states intend to emulate from their own projects. As part of this scheme, we have provided for returnable residential complex, commercial plots, pensions, annuity, and other benefits.